Photo editing should be as fun as the process of taking the photo in the first place. Now, Luminar Neo is a great choice, and I'll get into the perks of using that software. But first of all, this video is sponsored by Luminar Neo, so I will be talking about what they've added in a new fall update. That's autumn, by the way, not tripping over. Anyway, the interface of the software is pretty easy to get a grasp of, especially if you use basically any other editing software. It's a new way of cataloging your photos. Once you import your files, you can see them categorized by the year. Yes, I must add that I didn't actually take any photos in 1970. I wasn't born then. These are just some film scans. But anyway, there have been some tweaks to improve the way you organize and peruse your vast array of photos. There you've got minimal view, or you can have it on a detailed view so you can see the star rating of the photo. Up there, you can also see the EXIF data of each photo. Then you can add folders and albums. The easiest way is to select the photos and set up a new album, and then all of your photos will be grouped into that album. Now, one thing that I find particularly spiffing is the ability to filter photos, especially as I take a lot of photos that are basically test shots. So, of course, you can filter the photos by star rating. You can rate your photo first and then filter it by the star rating. But this update has added the ability to filter by camera, which will make life so much easier, especially when trying to find old test shots from a very particular camera. So you just click here in the drop-down menu, and there you are. But apart from that, you can also filter the images by the focal length, as well as the aperture that they were shot at, and also shutter speed and ISO. And another new feature that will help you to find a very specific photo is the Smart Search feature. For those times when you've got that image in your head of what photo you want to work on, you can simply type in some of the specific elements in that image in the search. So here we see there are a load of photos taken at different places, and it picks up when the birds are big in frame, but also when they're small in frame to really quite small in frame, when there's other prominent elements in a frame, and also when they're really just a shape in the image. Let's try this one. One image. Definitely not vegan-friendly snacks. So yes, that is the cataloging. For the actual editing, a strong point for using Luminar Neo is that it's really easy to get into, even if you're not experienced at photo editing. There is something about the interface with its colourful icons and simple categorizations of features that make it more approachable than some other editing software. But also, Luminar Neo's got plenty of creative, tweakery avenues to explore to keep one interested when you get past the initial phase of just the basic edits. With AI and a tidy user interface though, making quite dramatic changes to your images is kind of a doddle. Like, if you really wanted to be a bit crazy with the edits, you can use GenSwap. You can get quite creative with it, perhaps in a way that has a slim chance of actually happening. But anyway, it seems to do it quite well. Then you can use it for some more sensible things. Like removing distractive elements from the image. This is the sort of AI that would get a lot of use for me, and it would save a huge amount of time faffing about. For basic tweakery, there's the standard stuff under the Develop tab, but there's a lot more to it than just that, even more so with the new fall updates. There's color masking, which allows you to, well, mask certain parts of the image by color, of course. All it involves is a color picker, and you can just pick it there, and then you use the slider to adjust how much of it is affected in the image. But one useful new update is color transfer, and I think it's useful for photographers who envision the colors that they want in their image. Essentially what it does is to take the colors of a reference image and applies it to your image. There's a few standard reference images, but you can add your own, whether it be your own image, something that you've seen and like, or maybe something like a film still. Naturally, it's not like you can apply the colours of one photo to any kind of photo. Like if you apply the colours of a nighttime photo in a city, it won't necessarily transition well into, say, a daylight photo of landscape. But anyway, after you've applied it, you can adjust the sliders to make the effect stronger or weaker. And then after that, you carry on with the edits if you wish, or just leave it like that. But one neat thing is that you can create a virtual copy of the image, which doesn't duplicate the original file. Okay, lovely stuff. Now I've got multiple copies of the same image. I can play around with different edits. Add some fog. I think we'll add a nice early morning vibe to this photo. Right, now let's add a little bit of vignetting, because that subject is slap bang in the middle. We want that focus to be right in the center. Darken the edges just a little bit. Now, do we do something with the sky? It's quite plain, isn't it? I think it'd probably be a bit too much if I add a fake sky in there. Let's just enhance. Just bump it up a little bit so you can see a little bit of texture in the clouds in the background there. Okay, that's nice. Okay, the alternate edit, why don't we go for a black and white? I do like a good black and white. You don't have to think about the different colours. All you need to think about is the light and the contrast. So again, go to the enhance, a little bit of accent and sky enhancer, and then go to structure a little bit just to bring out that crispness on the detail on the body there. And you know what? I think that's pretty good. And then as you can see on the film strip down there, there's 3 different copies, and you can just cycle through them to look at which one you think is best. In fact, even with the generative AI stuff I did before, you've got your generative edits created as a new copy while maintaining the original photo. It's just a nice safety net to have so you can keep on editing without worrying about messing up your photo and being unable to undo that. With that said, let's go back to GenErase to remove that person from the frame because I think it's not really adding much to the photo. And boom, there we are. That's something we can work on for sure. But let's continue enhancing the photo. I'm going to try Twilight Enhancer, which is new. You can choose different colors there. It will just add a little bit of fizz to your low light shots. Select the amount and exposure. Subtlety is the key. Right, now for a bit of relight. Now we've got brightness near and brightness far. Let's show you what the brightness near does. And then go to dramatic just to make it a bit punchier. So it's brought out a bit of pinky purpleness at the base of the sky there. But what if you want a different sky? Well, there's sky here. You can replace the sky completely with something a bit more dramatic. So you've got all these sky options and you can add more by purchasing them. But you know what? I think I like the original one better. We can go over to edits here and you can see all of the edits that you've done to your photo. And then you can see what it'll be like without. Now, I'm just going to get rid of the sky edit while leaving the rest of the edits that I've done to the photo. The thing that I really like about Luminar Neo is that it has that same accessibility to creativity as, say, Apple's Aperture. It doesn't take reading manuals or guides to figure out how to make it work for you. And it's even got these different sections of types of photography as well. And as I said, that sidebar is color-coded and it's got a different section for different types of photography. You can make edits on things like portrait photography to enhance things like the facial features, eye enhancer to bring out that little glint in the eye, and eye whitening. You can change the eye color. I'm going to change it to brown. Just make it pop a little bit more. And then bring out the color of her lips a little bit more. But yeah, just a bit of skin smoothing. I don't think she needs to be slimmed down anymore. And boom, I think that looks pretty good. So that's Luminar Neo with the full updates. It's great because it's easy to get into and it'll keep you interested with its plethora of creative possibilities that can be explored for a great variety of different photography styles. So check it out, click the link below. There's a 12-month subscription plan or lifetime plan. The lifetime license is a pretty good option, especially if you don't want to be tied down to a subscription. But when a major update comes, you might need to pay a little extra more, versus a subscription where you're guaranteed to get those updates as part of the deal. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so it's well worth a try. And at the moment, they've got a great offer going on. You can use this coupon code for an extra 10% off. Click the link in the description box below.